do people think was going to happen? Like, what did people expect was going to happen as a consequence of the Irish government not listening to the people, as a consequence of the Irish government continuing to deceive the Irish people, continue to disregard the interests of the Irish people and their welfare and their security? What did people think was going to happen? You know, and what people have to understand about this situation, right? And this is what bothers me. The Irish people are in a situation where homelessness is on the rise. There's a crisis in homelessness. There's a lack of resources in terms of mental health and all of these other resources that the Irish people need to function on a day-to-day basis. And for those people that don't know, if you grow up in the less advantaged areas, in the disadvantaged areas, what you're gonna see, and if you speak to people within those areas or you grew up in these communities, there's a lack of resources, there's a lack of support, and there's a lack of funding. It's just people thrown to the side and disregarded by the Irish government. And the problem is, so the Irish people are stuck in hotels. Their families don't have proper housing. They don't have places to even cook and clean. There's no sense of security for their day-to-day living. Yet the Irish government can bring a busload of people into the country, give them new housing, put them in new housing, while the citizens of the country still have to wait on lists, on housing lists, and for 2 or 3 years, 4 or 5 years, living in hotels where they're suffering with mental health issues, depression, so many issues that are affecting their children. The entire bloodline is being affected. And then as a consequence of that, the Irish people were warning about these things happening. There's already been reports of violence. There's already been reports of sexual abuse. There's been a lot of reports as a consequence of the increase in the uncontrolled immigration process that has taken place right now. And one thing people have to understand, Irish people are not against immigration. They're not against people who are genuinely leaving their homes as a consequence of danger, as a consequence of looking for a better life. But that's not the case that we have right now. And unfortunately, and I can't fathom this because I can only imagine if it was my family that went out there today, my wife and my kids go out and they don't come home, or my brother and sister go out, or one of my family members goes out with the children and they get murdered on the streets in broad daylight in front of people. I don't know what reaction you expect, but one of the things I will say is you push the Irish people too far, they react. They're not called the Fighting Irish for no reason, and they have every right. I don't condone violence. I don't condone the actions that are taking place right now, but what do you expect? And one thing people need to understand, you can't blame the reaction of the people, right? You can't poke me with a stick and then when I react to defend myself or to get that stick out of your hand, I now become the perpetrator. And that's what people need to understand. You have to look at who has brought this about, and it's the acts and the actions and the lack of action from the Irish government towards solving the issues that firstly the Irish people have, looking after the needs of the Irish people first and putting them first. But unfortunately, and this is my issue when people go protesting and all of these things, I've never been to a protest. I've been to one and I'll never go again. I'll never go to any of these things because you're protesting in the streets. The decision makers aren't in the streets. They don't care. They don't give a shit about what you guys are doing in the streets. They're going to laugh about it and go to their stupid parliament meetings and talk about this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do, and they'll do nothing for you whatsoever. So you are making noise where it only affects you guys. It affects your communities, it affects the other Irish people. It's not affecting the people that are making the decisions. They're not impacted. These are protesting in the wrong places, and that's what always happens. These are causing chaos in the wrong places. You're not affecting their pockets, trust me, because it's your money, it's the taxpayers' money that's going to go into fixing all of these things. It's not their money. Unfortunately, and you've a system and you've a place where this government will forever abuse you. It will forever take advantage of you, and they will continue to do it. They have a long track record and history of doing it to the Irish people. The state has a long record and history of doing it. From all of the things that they cover, many things that they've covered throughout the years. As a consequence, the Irish people are living the repercussions of that. And it's not them, it's not the decision makers, it's not these politicians or governments that you all vote for. I will never vote for any government or president. I'm not interested. Um, I'd rather do within my own capability for myself, for my family, for my community. Because once you start putting your trust and hope in these governments, the same people that deceived you when it came to COVID, the same people that continue to deceive you on so many things and rob you every single day, um, they're not there for your interest. They're not there. Um, and so, unfortunately, the only hope we have is God. And the only hope we have is the unity that exists within the Irish community, the unity that exists amongst Irish people, to take care for one another and look after one another. And one of the things I will end my message on is, guys, people that are out there protesting and doing what they're doing, trashing up the place, go easy on the guards. They're not your enemy. Believe me, there's somebody behind them that's pulling the strings. And you guys are attacking fathers, you're attacking brothers and sisters, you're attacking your own people. Yes, they have a uniform, but the uniform does not make them not human. The uniform does not make them non-Irish. Unfortunately, they have a job to do. They've got families to feed, and they take orders. Um, when you work for people, you take orders. That's the way it goes. And unfortunately, they're just taking orders. So it's not a right thing for you guys to go against them. And yes, I understand there's people can have their causes and justifications, but please, they're just people doing a job, to the best of their abilities. Most of them, most of them. So it's not right that they be attacked. Please, 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 I urge and I plead with anybody, just go easy on them. And for anybody else, you know what the Irish people are going through right now, we go through it with all our governments. In every single country, governments are doing this to people. They are robbing the people and destroying communities. Unfortunately, the only hope you have is prayer, my friends. That's it.